Aloha! This is a video about the Red Hill fuel storage and spillage. As most of you are aware, it's been years since the spill of 2014 from then on to this year. In between the years, the Red Hill fuel tank's poor maintenance and storage conditions have been causing uproar and attention. Our aquifers' likelihood of contamination has alarmed the Board of Water Supply and the people using the drinking waters. So how do aquifers work? Let me explain quickly and what our island aquifer looks like. To have an aquifer, the rock or sediments above the water table would have to yield high porosity and high permeability rather than low porosity and permeability. Porosity being with a lot of gaps. More porous the land, the more water it can contain. This is an image presented from the Board of Water Supply video of how Oahu gets its drinking water and how seawater stays out of our drinking water. The cap rock color is bright yellow at the sea level are the reasons why we have abundant supply of fresh water. These cap rocks are lightly permeable and less of marine sediments deposits and traps in fresh waters behind it. Very cool. So with the Red Hill situation, as you can see in this diagram here, is how contamination can get into our pumping wells for drinking water. This diagram also is how the pumping wells take water and to inform that we should not pump faster than the recharge rate. The recharge rate depends on how porous and permeability are the rocks above the aquifer. Typically, water moves about a foot per year. At the year of the spill in 2014 to December 2021, the Hawaii Department of Health published a health map of complaints about water contamination around Pearl Harbor. Excuse me. As you can see, the dense yellowing areas are massive percent in complaints versus red areas around the yellow are probably in a range of high tier of complaints. Below the red coloring are saturated purple and watercolor purple indicating lower percentage of complaints. Analyzing further from the contamination site, Red Hill and aquifer below. That is quite the variety and area of complaints, as you can see. And as you can see from the dense between kind of the Red Hill area, I live in between. Not much complaints over there, or barely. So I was kind of hit or miss, slightly. From 2014 to and by December 5th, 2021, Board of Water Supply announced the Halawa shaft water source shut down due to the Navy's Red Hill well contamination. This is the oversight of Red Hill and the circles are the tanks. From the initial day of May 6th to about the end of the year of 2021, a rough 6 months contamination has been detected. In between, you can read, Navy says water is safe, around November. Till December, disregarding chemical smell reporting and other such complaints, it finally came to light that the petroleum was detected, meaning jet fuel was detected. Okay. At this point, and evidence so far of Navy's oversight of the tanks, located on Salt Lake volcanic craters hillside above Pearl Harbor, the Red Hill bulk fuel storage facility provides fuel reserves for the Navy and consists of 20 subterranean fuel tanks, each capable of holding 12.5 million gallons of fuel. Navy has confirmed and honestly stated on its rusted tanks have already reached its end-of-life phase. that it has leaked numerous of times, almost 250,000 gallons. Exposure and spills into the Navy wells, petroleum jet fuels, xylenes, naphthalene, and TPHG that have been found in the water. When you think Tank 5 will be an issue, this is a Tank 14's corrosion evidence. In the Red Hill fuels tank, they aren't just holding less, they are holding a lot of tanks that were stored away since war times. Due to the complex geological surroundings of Red Hill, there is no easy answer regarding to how far has it spread, or where the regular leaking fuel tank had added to the contamination of those corroded tanks. If the tank remains, the possible chance of leakage goes higher and higher due to the tank's old age, corrosion, and capacity. The possible other, rather than drinking the contaminated water, it can cause vapor intrusion. Vapor intrusion is a serious environmental health issue. It happens when toxic chemicals from contaminated soil or groundwater turns into gas and migrates up into buildings, often through cracks in foundation, pipes, and basement walls. Despite the ongoing overwhelming complaints and evidence and its material of toxicity to humans, tank number 5 that leaked out 24,000 of gallons was put back into operation in 2020. Overall evidence of testing of contamination twice should not be overlooked, as the contamination can spread and towards other wells and shafts. Navy has been overestimating its fuel tanks and situation, and it's a matter of time before more tanks from corrosion start to leak into Halawa, Aquifer, and probably more around the Red Hill facility. Another incident on November 2021 fuel seeped into fire suppression line and burst. The burst leak then went into Hill water shaft. It's only a matter of time before more and more incidents at the Red Hill are going to happen. Thus, this facility is labeled to be a ticking time bomb by the Hawaii State Department of Health. The contamination of the leakage is far dangerous, as this is jet fuel, a non-human, consumable substance. When ingested, will cause nervous system damage, liver damage, kidney damage, lungs damage, heart damage, digestive tract issues, drowsiness, dizziness, and other damage to vital organs. For those undergoing health recovery and are immune compromised, which are more of the elderly, are at risk. As you can see, when such a thing happened, communities will not back down. Living in Honolulu and around the area at that, I experienced a lot of exposure to the protests and supporters towards Red Hill, either wanting it to be shut down or moved to a different area without an entrance to an aquifer. As you may have guessed, the navies are quite something. This picture captures the Navy's understanding towards our island and water supply. During the Red Hill water contamination crisis, the Navy opened fire hydrants and flushed out contaminated water directly onto the sidewalks and residential streets. This water goes into the storm drains and flowed in the ocean without the required state permits. This picture was captured by Lindsay Ladner. Another report of fuel in water was when Janin Sparks took and noticed in a water a sheen like oil in puddles near a storm drain. This evidence could probably and possibly be true to the fact about the contamination to the open fire hydrants, or it could be from ground oil from cars as the time of distance of November 30 and December 6 are quite far apart and anything can happen. But people speculate and cannot dismiss close evidence of what was happening to the sudden opening of the water hydrants on November 30th. If this continues, as toxin fuel is leaked and spreads, the water aquifers would be toxic like the Aaron Brockovich town, a small town in Maldive Desert known for its groundwater contamination case. A case that was caused by human greed by dumping toxin elements into the groundwater, leading to health problems for residents. Protesters and community voices are strong from the first spillage to the final straw. That sign says everything about the actions of the Navy. These voices are eventually heard and paid with a huge success in return. As of 2021, on March 7, 2022, Secretary of Defense ordered the defilling and permanent closure of the Red Hill after the 2021 crisis. A major win for the Water Department, community, and locals who supported, fought, and had mindsets alike to convince Red Hill to be decommissioned. It's been a wild years between the first spill up to 2021 incident spill. Community is impacted, my heartfelt sympathy. As of our current year, from the issued removal of 104 million gallons of fuel had been removed. The process of the tank cleaning, ventilation, pipeline shutdowns, and excavations are still continuing. The end of date service is likely to be predicted around 2027. However, keep an ear out for the final words to celebrate that our water aquifers are safe from higher human greed. However, that does not stop here. There are also other water concerns on this island that need attention. Our island is very well known for many beautiful water scenery, such as the long strip lane, the Aloha Canal. It's populated due to stagnation and how it's built. This Aloha has been most beautiful, but now a cause for concern. As a community, we should be aware of our water sources and contaminations areas for the island and have awareness to support the cause when the time is right, either by protesting or being heard among the rest of the community who are supporting our island's waters to be clear, clean, and fresh for use and for the community's natural life. This is the end of the video. Thank you for listening.